Hi, I'm Scott Stevenson with Waldorf Ford and Dodge, and today we're here hosting an event on behalf of the Charles County Technology Council, and the event is about alternative fuel vehicles and the technology behind them. We talked a lot about the infrastructure and the lack thereof in the county and the interest that we have in building that infrastructure. We talked about different vehicles such as the Ford Transit Connect Electric. We have on hand some of our flex fuel vehicles. We have the Roush propane van here on display, along with the Toyota Prius and the Nissan Leaf. So we had some key people that attended the meeting, and we thought it'd be fun to get some of their ideas and opinions on what they saw today. We're here with Ron Flowers, and Ron, you have a really long title, so would you care to expand on that?
I'm Ron Flowers. I am the Executive Director of the Greater Washington Clean Cities Coalition.
Okay, thank you for doing that for me. Ron, why should we care about alternate fuels, and what's your role in it as the Director of the Clean Cities?
Well, I think first we should care about all fuels because of the environmental issues that we face as a world and as a nation.
Mm-hmm.
But in addition to that, if we're ever going to be energy independent, we're going to have to utilize those fuels, those resources that are right here in the United States of America. We don't need to go outside of our borders to supply our own energy. We need to take care of ourselves. And we can do that more effectively and more efficiently by relying and cultivating our own energy resources right here in the United States of America.
Okay, we're here with Roy Willis, President and CEO of the Propane Education Research Council. And Roy, can you tell us a little bit about propane and where it stands in regards to alternate fuels?
Well, happy to, Scott. Propane is the third most widely used motor fuel in the world, only behind gasoline and diesel fuel. It's a clean, efficient, safe fuel that works. That's what we like to say. Propane is the alternative fuel that works.
Tell me what you mean by a fuel that works.
Well, the most widely used use of all alternative fuels is by fleet operators, people that need their trucks and their vehicles to reliably work every day.
And just to a question that I have personally, for all the people out there, you hear all the myths and things about the propane and the explosions, and then, propane is hard on a vehicle. What would you say to those people?
Well, those are mostly urban myths. Propane literally has hundreds of millions of miles of safe operation. Like any fuel, you have to respect it. It doesn't work if it's not flammable and combustible, so the propane fuel tanks are 20 times more puncture resistant than a typical gasoline tank. The propane fuel lines are run along the same rails as the gasoline lines are, so it's all designed in for safety.
Okay, we're here with Mark Chaka of the Charles County Technology Council. And Mark, when you were speaking earlier at the event, you mentioned the charging stations in the county and some of the progress that you've made. Can you expand on that a little bit more?
Sure. We started this initiative in 2010, and it's really taken off. We've got several different businesses that have charging stations. The county got behind us with 3 stations of their own. We currently have 10 stations in the county, and we're hoping that grows even higher. Some upcoming new businesses coming into this network. We have Mom's Organic Markets and the St. Charles Town Center. So we think that the infrastructure is growing. It's ready for EVs. EVs are at many of the dealers already and coming to Ford, so we're excited about this widespread use of them.
Now we're here with Chelsea Jenkins of Roush Clean Tech. And Chelsea, tell me why fleets are considering the conversion to propane these days.
Well, propane presents a lot of great opportunities for fleets today. Essentially, they don't want to compromise when they're switching from gasoline or diesel. So propane represents the opportunity to reduce their operating costs. Traditionally, over the history, propane has cost from about 30 to 40% less than gasoline. Fleets want a solution that's reliable as well, especially fleets that have tried alternate fuels in the past. So with our products, we we put it through its paces. We test in Alaska, we test in Florida, and they're essentially going to see the same torque, towing capacity, and similar payload as they would with gasoline and diesel. They also want to see something that's greener, that can help them on the marketing side and also help them with their sustainability plans. And propane represents an opportunity to reduce carbon dioxide emissions by 25%, as well as particulate matter, which is important in some counties in Maryland, by up to 80%.
We're here with Steve McCoy of Alliance Auto Gas. And Steve, I noticed you brought this vehicle. What can you tell me about this vehicle? It looks like a normal Crown Victoria.
One of our customers, Frederick Yellowcab, purchased this vehicle at auction, and we converted the vehicle to operate on auto gas or propane. So it has 135,000 miles on it now. They'll run it to probably 500,000 miles.
Wow.
So that's how durable the auto gas system is. When they retire this vehicle, they'll take the auto gas system off of this vehicle and then put it on the next one that they buy. So you're able to realize at least two vehicle changes, if you will, with one system. The reason they do this is because of reduced maintenance. It's cleaner, but most importantly, the operating or the fuel cost savings.
Right.
Taxi cabs typically will travel 60,000 miles a year. The auto gas is costing the taxi owner approximately $1.50 a gallon less than gasoline.
Ooh.
So they're realizing a return on their investment in 12 months or less.
That's a big difference.
It is.
And just real quickly, I noticed that you can't tell, I don't see anything different about this vehicle. At first glance, it looks exactly the same as a stock vehicle.
It's a great question, Scott. We don't take any of the gasoline components off of this vehicle. All of that stays intact. We simply overlay propane components on this vehicle. It has its own electronic control module, and it has 8 injectors. Okay, so the electronic control module ensures that the diagnostics are all intact as they came from the factory, and diagnostics are seamless in that regard.
Great. Okay, we're going to wrap it up now. We've talked to lots of people and we've learned lots of information. We want to thank the Charles County Technology Council for allowing us to host the event. If you have any interest in alternative fuels or the technology and infrastructure, please feel free to give us a call here at Waldorf Ford and Dodge.